Our top story, the deepfake menace that is taking over the Bollywood. Now, Ranveer Singh has taken action on the deepfake menace. The Bollywood star has filed a case over his deepfake video that came out a few days ago. This case has been filed against social media handles circulating this video. Interestingly, the case has been filed a week after Amir Khan's deepfake video came out. Remember, after actor Amir Khan flagged the deepfake video of him perpetrated election pitch for a certain political party, actor Ranveer Singh has also fallen prey to the menace sweeping this industry. On his Instagram story, he had in fact written, "Deepfake se bacho, friends beware of deepfakes." The actor's video that recently surfaced online and purportedly showed him voicing his political views. However, the video was made with Mr. Singh's artificial intelligence voice clone. While the video and interview that he gave during his recent Varanasi visit is genuine, the audio was generated with an AI-enabled voice clone. And Abira joins us to get us more details. Abira, after Amir Khan, now Ranveer Singh has filed a complaint. We all talk about trends on social media. This, however, it seems like a very disturbing trend that is taking over.
Yes, and just not Ranveer, Amir. There have been other actresses and actors who have been a victim of deepfake, and now it's Ranveer Singh. We saw Amir Khan who filed a FIR last week, and now it's Ranveer Singh who has filed an FIR. Like you said, you know, this deepfake video was created from an original video which was made in Varanasi, where he was doing walking the ramp for Manish Malhotra, and in the original video he's seen praising a certain political party, but in the deepfake video we see him doing exactly opposite. He is talking against that same political party, and during it's election time and all these videos have been coming out, and Bollywood is something that everybody likes watching, right? Everybody in India, Bollywood sells. So all these deepfake videos, these are the victims. The actors are the victims. But in earlier this year, Akshay Kumar also filed an FIR, but it was, of course, not about a political party. It was about him promoting a certain game app. But he filed an FIR because a deepfake video was doing the rounds. And we also have seen Katrina Kaif. Katrina Kaif took no action. She didn't file an FIR. Rashmika, on the other hand, she didn't take action, but the Delhi police filed a case, and they also caught the guy who was making these deepfake videos. So yes, Bollywood is a victim, and our latest is Ranveer Singh.
All right, Abira, thank you very much for getting us all those details. We'll keep getting you all the updates from this particular story. In fact, at this point, we are joined by N.S. Napinai. She is an advocate of the Supreme Court, founder, Cyber Saathi Foundation. We also have Nandan Mishra, AI expert, and the founder CEO of Algo 8. We also have Nasir Abdullah. He's an actor. And let me start before we come to the experts. Let me start by asking Mr. Abdullah, this entire trend that has been going on, this menace of deepfake. Have you faced something similar, or do you know somebody who has?
Okay, fortunately, I haven't faced anything, and I have sort of managed to expose something that somebody wanted to do a long time ago. And other scams, they try to get your, like, a password saying your card is about to expire, blah, blah, blah. So, but I'm not actually surprised that this has happened, and I think it's been happening for a very, very long time. People seem to fill in words into the mouths of the people and make it look like they are saying them. It's very sad, and I think this is a lowly activity, LOWLY, and I don't see why they must do that, because if it is exposed, then it becomes a slap in the face of the person whom they are trying to represent or to heighten. So, I mean, I haven't experienced it, but I know a lot of friends, and I've heard of a lot of the cases. Even Amitabh Bachchan, once upon a time, was seen as if he was actually propagating a political party, which is not true. But he was sort of shown as a brand ambassador to whichever state it was all about. So now, I guess, with the growth of all this, and with the forward leap of AI and everything else, it's even easier. They can clone the voice, they can clone the face, they can make him or her say anything at all. Earlier, people used to, over the phone, imitate a person and try to get a person to pay money, or there was the Suketu thingy where with Jacqueline Fernandez, this guy had done a number. He had posed as a heavy duty guy. So now with the cloning thingy and everything available, I'm not very surprised, and it's very sad it's happening. But obviously, there are ways and means to find out. So I wish the security forces good luck to get this thing out of the way, the cybercrime investigators.
Right. Let's also get an expert opinion on this. Nandan Mishra, first of all, as somebody who probably uses social media, who probably uses these technology, how does one identify whether a video is fake or not in the first place?
So Osama, as Nasir pointed out, fake content and fake videos have been there since eternity. Since we have been connected on different media platforms, fake content has been there. Now we are talking about deeply fake. So the depth of that fakeness has increased, right? And what is substantiating that is the high amount of synthetic content generation that is possible now with technologies like GANs and AI. Now, still there are cues that a wise person can see. The first thing that any person who's consuming any content now is whether that content is being shared through an authentic source or not. For example, if he or she is consuming it on Facebook or on any social media, then is it a handle? If the handle is authenticated, if the handle is, then the entire responsibility of sharing that content goes to the handle. And now you can basically, and that's where the media and public brands and public handles play a big role. And that's the first level at which that it can be fortified. That's the first thing. The second thing is that you will generally find that these videos are circulating on they're not being solicited. They are just being consumed. So you'll find them on WhatsApp coming to you through some channel, or you will find them on some random handle, So the first thing is that. The second is now when you start consuming the content. So now let me tell you, I think majority of people are not conscious of what they're consuming and don't validate what they're consuming. But there are ways to find that out. For example, there are visual inconsistencies. Now, in some cases, for example, if you closely watch Mr. Ranveer Singh's video, you'll find that the lip movement and the voice don't sync in. But it will require you some amount of expertise to be able to see that, So there will be visual inconsistencies. There will be audio inconsistencies. You will find that for example, in the case where the video is visually morphed, you will find that there are, there will be some light sources which will be missing. So there are technical ways in which you can find it out. But that technical knowledge is very limited with certain people. Yeah. So that is the challenge. So the mass amount of authentication can happen if you can just look at who has sent you this. Don't be just a blind consumer of what is just coming your way. I think that's the first thing.
Absolutely. N.S. Napinai, ma'am, is there a law with respect to impersonation of a public figure, especially when we are talking about digital platforms?
Yes. So you don't need and you don't have laws which are specific to public figures, but impersonation per se, which is intended to cheat, is an offense under the Indian Penal Code. And with effect from 1st July 2024, it continues to be an offense under the new Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. So often when you look at these kind of instances, and I must tell you, this is not unexpected. If you look at some of the earlier deepfakes using celebrities, that was primarily, instances which impacted the reputation and dignity of the individual. But when you look at the last two incidents, these are intended more to mislead voters. It has a very specific intent to defraud. And in these kind of instances, in fact, the Election Commission was very wary in terms of how deepfakes were going to be misused. You already had instances where political parties' deepfakes could be created and the wrong messages circulated. And now, as somebody mentioned, I think your anchor mentioned it correctly earlier, Bollywood sells. And you therefore have these new deepfakes with celebrities coming up. So yes, the law is there, technology evolves and the means of committing crimes evolves, but the crimes remain the same fundamentally, and you can use existing laws to combat these instances.
Ma'am, having said that, how can especially a celebrity or anyone protect themselves from deepfakes in that case?
It's very difficult for you to take protective measures in these kind of instances, because what can you do? Can you not share your images online? Will you not share your verbal content online? And this is all data which is then fed to the AI for it to generate deepfakes, etc. So content with respect to celebrities is available online, and this is the fuel for deepfakes. So to what extent can a celebrity stay offline? That's not going to be possible. I would say the real preventive and protective measures are twofold. One, from the position of a platform, where they would necessarily have to have transparency reports in terms of whether content that's being shared is genuine or fabricated or modulated. You have multiple kinds of names for deepfakes, including manipulated content or computer-generated imagery. So you will have to have transparency reports setting out what kind of data is being shared, and where a platform may not know to begin with, once they have been informed, they would necessarily have to stamp that kind of content with the correct label. That would help users be wary. From the celebrities' perspective, they just have to keep checking. And the minute they find fabricated or fake content, immediately they have a lot of remedies. They can approach the platform first to have the content taken down immediately. Then, of course, as the celebrities have done now, they have the option of filing criminal complaints and also to sue for damages. So whoever is uploading this kind of content also needs to know that this is not a prank or a joke. They can be held liable and the consequences can be serious.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Nandan Mishra, are AI experts, including you, developing softwares to tackle deepfakes? Because it is an AI-generated menace. How do you then tackle this? Because you obviously have to develop something for a menace like this.
Yes. No, I think yes, plenty of startups, research and development companies, and also I think academia are working on this. And there are tools now. For example, you can. It has been developed at the level of language. We can definitely find synthetic language. Synthetic visuals would be soon coming in, and we will have these detection tools available publicly for you to see. But the thing is that when it starts spreading, there will be some people conscious enough to go on a detection tool and do that. I think from that perspective, you require more industry standards and practices. I think as one of the panelists pointed out, the content authentication and platform policies play a huge role. And I think content authentication, for example, companies like Adobe, for example, are working on a content authenticity. And I think similar things will be coming up with social media platforms as well. So I think these would be the most important, because you don't want that content to come on a publicly available media platform. That's the first thing. Yeah.
All right. One final word from you, Mr. Nasir Abdullah. We talk about how movies and social media, they blur the lines of reality, and when you put AI into the context, it completely changes the picture altogether. How do you look at this, and your final word on this, sir?
My goodness, I don't know if I'm actually qualified to give a final word, but yes, it has been happening. It was expected. It has happened. And in even the cases between famous stars and their wives with whom they had a problem, there was, the Johnny Depp trial where his wife had apparently photoshopped some of the photos in evidence. So this sort of thing was to be expected. And finally, unfortunately, there is no a defense against anybody misusing this stuff. And the only thing one can do is, once they find out, then they have to have it investigated and to brand it as false and also concocted, and then be free of the false information that is being given through the illegal means of artificial intelligence and all that stuff that is happening, morphing and than this deep fake thing that's going on. So
Right.
I'm afraid this, as the lady earlier said, there is no way you can actually protect yourself, because it is there in the market. Anybody can reach for any of the photos or any reel and transform it into something else. So what to do? That is the price we have to pay, but
Well,
it will pass.
Well, Bollywood has been hit by this deepfake menace, and thank you everyone for joining us on the show and giving us your valuable inputs. Thank you very much.